Hello, Algebra 2. Here you are with your 9C summative review. Okay, going to go through a couple of these graphs with you, get you all set for the test. We'll sketch a graph of a sine function whose period is 6 pi, amplitude is 2, phase shift is left 3 pi over 2, and the vertical shift is down 3. We're trying to graph this over the interval from negative 3 pi over 2 to 9 pi. So period, 6 pi. For sine and cosine, we take the period, divide by 4, and that'll give us our counting numbers, 3 pi over 2. So that kind of makes sense with this one. So let's practice counting with fractions. We'll have 3 pi over 2. Another 3 pi over 2 would be 6 pi over 2. 6 pi over 2 would reduce to 3 pi. 6 pi over 2 plus another 3 pi over 2 is going to be 9 pi over 2. Then we'll have 12 pi over 2, or 6 pi. 15 pi over 2. And 18 pi over 2, or 9 pi. Sorry about that. Okay, on the backwards side, we'll have negative 3 pi over 2. And there's all the tick marks, going from negative 3 pi over 2 to 9 pi. Phase shift, we'll get to that later. Vertical shift is down 3. So we're down 3. Our midline is at negative 3. I probably could have gone down a little further than that. Amplitude is 2, so that means we're going to go up 2 to negative 1 and down 2 to negative 5. Alright, and now we're ready for the phase shift. That's your starting point, left 3 pi over 2. So we're going to be on our new midline, back up 3 pi over 2. Okay, we're doing a sine function. Sine starts on the midline. Okay, and it doesn't say anything about negative or flipped, so we're going to go up. We go up 2, sine normally goes up 2, or up. Now we're down, bottom, midline, top, midline, bottom. Okay, and then we smooth it out. Alright. Not too bad. Okay, so you should have another one like similar to that one down below. Turn the page. 3 times cosine of 2 parentheses x minus pi over 2 plus 1. Normal period is 2 pi. We got a times 2 on the inside. So we're going to divide by 2, and the period there is pi. Okay, amplitude, we got a times 3. Phase shift, or pi over 2 to the right. Remember, it's opposite, so pi over 2 to the right. Vertical shift, we're up 1. Plus 1, we're up 1. Okay, sine and cosine, you take the period, divide by 4 to get your counting numbers. And that's a Mr. Handke term. You won't find that in a textbook. Okay, so look at this. You kind of think to yourself a little bit. Look at this. Do a little thinking here before you go and sketch your own axes. We're trying to go from pi over 2 to 2 pi. Okay, we're only 1 up with an amplitude of 3, so that's going to be kind of in the middle. But this one, we're not very far. In fact, we won't have any to the negative. So we don't need any of the negative. Okay? We're counting by pi over 4s all the way out to 2 pi. So again, you should be trying to count by fractions and reduce these as you go. Pi over 4. 2 pi over 4 is pi over 2. 3 pi over 4. 4 pi over 4 is pi. 5 pi over 4. 6 pi over 4 is 3 pi over 2. 7 pi over 4. And 8 pi over 4 is 2 pi. Okay, we got plus 1, so 1 is our new midline. Amplitude is 3, so it should be going up 3 to 4, and down 3 to negative 2. Okay, we're starting at pi over 2 to the right. Cosine starts on the top. So we're going to be up. Positive cosine is going to start on the top. So up, midline, bottom, midline, top, midline, bottom. And we try to smooth it out. Alright, there you go. So you got another one with a negative. Careful there on that one. Let's drop down to number 5. We got a tangent. Tangent 3 parentheses x plus pi over 6. Okay, normal period for tangent is pi. We have a times 3 multiplier, so our period's pi over 3. Okay, phase shift for pi over 6 to the left. No vertical shift. Okay. For tangent, we take our pi over 3, and we're going to divide that by 2. Divide tangent, we divide by 2 for counting numbers. Okay, so pi over 6. Alright, and we're going to be counting by pi over 6 to negative pi over 2, all the way out to pi over 6, so not very far to the right, more to the left, and we're right down the middle. There's no up or down shifting. Alright, so pi over 6 to the right. Okay, we'll go negative pi over 6. Negative 2 pi over 6 is going to be negative pi over 3. And negative 3 pi over 6 is negative pi over 2. A little lumpy there, sorry. Pi over 6 to the left. Tangent starts with a dot. Then we'll have asymptote, dot. Bring it back this way. The y-axis is an asymptote and a dot. Okay, looking at this one. Number in the front, there isn't one. So really there's a 1. So our number here is 1, and here is negative 1. So halfway over, we need to be up 1. And then halfway over, we need to be down 1. What is halfway between 0 and pi over 6? To cut something in half, you just double the bottom number. So that's going to be negative pi over 12. And now it's kind of like we're counting by pi over 12. Negative 1 pi over 12. 2 pi over 12 is pi over 6. Negative 3 pi over 12 is going to be negative pi over 4. 4 pi over 12 is pi over 3. And we'll have negative 5 pi over 12 on that side. And we'll have positive pi over 12 over here. So we need to have all the tick marks shown, or label these dots, or both. Okay, so this one's not too bad. Now the end ones, make sure we are paying attention to our interval. Okay, it's only from negative pi over 2 to pi over 6. So on this one, I'm only going to go the right-hand side, the positive branch of it. We're not going to go backwards into this other stuff. We have to be stopped at pi over 2. And this one, we're doing just a negative 1. We're not going any further. Not my favorite setup. I like it to start and end with asymptotes so you get the whole thing in there. But this is how it was on the quiz. This is how it is on the review, so I'm going to guess that's how it is on the test. Asymptote lines, pretty easy. X equals, pick out one of your asymptotes that you can see, so either negative pi over 3 or 0. plus whatever the period is, pi over 3 with a k. Last one. Okay, I think these are the same as the quiz review graphs. Alright. Both of these work out nice for the y-axis, so you would not have to do a phase shift. That's not how it worked out on the quiz. The quiz, you did have to do a phase shift. It crossed at like a weird point that isn't the top or the middle, so then you have to do a phase shift. Probably going to be that same way on the test. So don't take the easy one here from the middle. Do one where you had to do a phase shift. Okay? Alright, so first thing I'm looking at is top and bottom. The top is 5, the bottom is -1. So what's in the middle of 5 and -1? 2. So that's going to be a vertical shift. We're going to be +2 on the back of whatever our formula is, whatever our equation is. Okay? From the midline to the top, that's a gap of 3. 2 to 5, that's a gap of 3. That's our amplitude, your front multiplier. Okay, top to top, peak to peak. We're going from -1 pi over 8 to +3 pi over 8. That's a gap of 4 pi over 8, or pi over 2. That's the period. Okay, this is a wavy sine or cosine graph. Sine and cosine are normally 2 pi for the period. What did we divide it by to get to pi over 2? Because that will be your inside multiplier. Divided by 4. Okay, so we have a 3 on the outside multiplier, 4 on the inside multiplier, and a +2 on the back. So now we just got to figure out if it's going to be cosine or sine, and our horizontal shifting. So I said not to do this one. Okay, that'd be midline going down. That'd be a negative sign, and then you wouldn't have any horizontal shifting. But that's probably not what it's going to look like on the test. So I would recommend maybe this positive cosine one. Go from the top. So we're backwards pi over 8, and it's positive cosine. So y equals, we got +3 times cosine. Our inside multiplier was 4. And to back it up, reverse is going to be theta or x plus pi over 8. And then now we have our midline up 2, +2. Okay, that's one of them. You could have viewed it as a negative cosine. Starting at the bottom, -3 cosine. And then we would have had theta minus pi over 8, because you would have gone pi over 8 to the right. You could have a 3 sine, a positive sine, if you start on the midline going up. And we could have done plus pi over 4 or minus pi over 4 to do that. Okay? And our sine going down, negative sine. Okay, then we wouldn't have had any horizontal shift. We tried to skip that because that's not how it's going to look like on the test. Okay, if we wanted to do that one again, we could go with a minus pi over 2. Okay? So there's the list of all the main 4 possibilities. Those are not the only 4. There are many. But those are the main 4 I had. Negative sine, positive sine, negative cosine, positive cosine. Okay? So you got 4 more to do on your own. Check those out. And see me in the morning if you have any questions. And it's test time. Probably the last hard test. All right? Study up. What is it called? Failing to prepare is preparing to fail. We'll see you tomorrow.